Hello, I'm Kate Conover,
And I'm Trout.
and today we'll be discussing the mental pressure of school and the future.
This involves issues regarding making college decisions or living up to expectations.
We're also going to be talking about the anxiety and pressure of getting a good grade and some self-improvement factors that can help reduce anxiety for these things.
So I think the most relevant issue that's happening, especially for kids our age, Kate, is the pressure of school and the anxiety that comes with it. I think you can agree.
Yeah, I think people definitely stress a lot about their grades, and they obviously kids strive to do best, and that's what the goal is, but it's easy for students or teenagers in school to they think grades determine their worth, and that's just not the case.
Especially if you're like a straight A student and you are used to getting good grades and you get one bad grade. What is it, like a B minus or a B plus even? And kids
Which isn't
take
a bad
that-
grade.
Which isn't at all. And kids take it as if it's like an F. And I've seen it. I see it all the time, even with you, Kate.
Yeah,
And,
no, I think we both see it.
and it makes me upset because you shouldn't think so poorly about yourself based on one grade. You know what I mean?
I think it's also easy for us to say oh, you shouldn't do this, but in reality, Cindy and I definitely stress over
all the time.
the one little mistake. So we should be taking our own advice on this as well.
Oh my god, I'll be in a class discussion and I'll say one thing wrong and I'll be thinking about it for the rest of the day.
Right, the good things outweigh the bad things.
Exactly.
Just need to remember that.
I think especially for kids, especially high schoolers, you get so caught up in the things that your flaws, especially in school, and I think when that all builds up, it promotes a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, and people say people may think that if you get a bad grade, you're not going to get into college, which just isn't the case. One bad grade doesn't determine the rest of your future.
And I feel that anxiety, especially speaking of college, that anxiety kind of consumes all of you. Yeah. It's so much weight weighing you down, and especially since grades are such a crucial factor when thinking about college and getting into college, I can understand why kids are so worried about that.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, one bad grade isn't gonna determine which college you go to.
And I think part of the issue is that schools put these labels on good grades or bad grades, but it's really just if you get a good grade. If you get a good grade, you just understand the material better. And if you get a bad grade, you just don't understand the material, which could be a lot of things. It could be the way the teacher's teaching, if you just don't learn as fast as other students, if you had a family emergency the night before and weren't able to study.
There's so many factors can, interfere with that.
Yeah.
And when you do bad on a test or an assignment, presentation, etc., the things that you fail to follow through with in the assignment is things that you can just I don't know how to word this, but when you know you did something wrong after it's graded, then I'm tweaking out.
You can turn your...
You can turn it
into motivation.
Yes, exactly. If you're oh my god, I got a B on the last test, next test I'm gonna get an A+. It motivates you to study more, listen more, but that also depends on the person. You can either take it as motivation or you can take it as a failure and then
and it can eat away at you.
There.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I definitely think students have a hard time handling pressure, and I think it can be maybe anxiety of the future or college or just...
It's definitely suffocating, and especially when it comes to parents' expectations or friends or teachers, that can definitely be a lot of overwhelming feelings.
Yeah, and I think your grades don't determine if you're going to get into college or not. The colleges look at so many different things, extracurriculars, clubs, community service, just all this different stuff. It's not only
especially
solely
personality
based on a grade.
too.
Yeah.
It's not just about a letter grade that you have on a transcript. It's about who you are as a person. And yeah, that sounds cliche, but like Kate said, there's so many other factors that determine if a college wants you or not.
Exactly. So on the topic of college and deciding making your decisions based on you. College shouldn't be a decision for someone else. It should be like your own decision.
Exactly. And people think that they need to follow their parents' expectations when it comes to college and deciding your major, but that's not the case.
Even like where you want to go, like it doesn't require anyone else's feedback. It's solely based on what you want your college experience to be like and not what someone else wants for you.
Exactly. And you want to be in an environment and in a situation where you're comfortable, and being placed into the opposite would just make your college experience worse.
Exactly. Like most people only go to college once, so like you might as well make the
best of it.
Yeah. Like,
and even if you don't want to go to college, there's nothing wrong with that. And I know so many people that feel like they're disappointing their parents or even themselves when they decide, oh, I don't want to go to college, but
okay, we're back.
Sorry about that, guys.
So for me personally, like, my parents want me to stay close in case, like, I need their help or I want to visit or they want to visit me or something. But, like, I don't know. Like, I want to go somewhere tropical where it's warm. Like,
do it, Kate.
The Carolinas. And, like, I know that, like, they're going to be paying for my college, but, like, I don't want to let that, like, stop me. Like, I'm going to do what I want to do because it's college and you only experience it once.
Exactly. Kate, I'm having the same issue. So I'm trying to get recruited, and like the schools that I have on my dream list, or the top 10 schools that I've been trying to reach out to, they all are kind of distant and away from the New England area. And my parents are telling me, like, Sydney, like, we don't want to have to, like, buy a plane ticket every time you play a game or, you know, etc. from that. And I'm just like, you know, this is my future. This is what I want to do. This is me chasing my dreams and all that corny stuff. And I shouldn't be basing it based on what you want.
Exactly. And I feel like that, like, if you go somewhere and you're just not happy, like, that's not going to be a good experience for you. It's going to drop your self-esteem, like, your self-respect, and, like, it's just your life is going to go downhill.
Exactly. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know why parents have to make it about themselves.
Exactly.
They just shouldn't. And I think obviously that's going to happen when your kid's going off to college. And I think it's just like an subconscious shot. Oh my God, I can't talk. A subconscious thought that, like, you're going to think about yourself and, like, oh my God, my baby's going away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
like, there's already so much anxiety around college and, like, school in general. And there just doesn't need to be any more, like, added.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially when you're going through that transition from a teenager to an adult. You're going through this huge change, and to stay healthy and have a better mindset and know what habits are good for you is crucial.
Yeah, well, like, working on your self-improvement, especially when you get to college, will just, like, set you up for success.
Yeah, and setting goals too.
Yeah, like small goals that can, like, help like, create more habits that will help you in the future instead of just, like, procrastinating and everything like that.
These are all, like, crucial factors when it comes to self-improvement, and I think to focus day by day rather than the future is, like, essential. Like, sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah. Especially if you're, like, someone who's struggling with, like, change and the future and maybe it scares you. Like, taking things day by day would just be so much easier.
Yeah, and it allows your mind to focus on the present rather than fearing what's going to happen in the future. And I think a lot of us do that, especially when you're in high school and you're thinking about college again, and you can't really handle that like, what's the word? Like, you can't handle the change.
Yeah, and I think, like, personally, what helps me is, like, talking things out with someone who I trust, or, like a lot of people have a therapist who, like, can help them.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, even just trying to avoid negative thoughts and kind of, like, focus on the positive things in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also, like, back to talking things out with someone, finding someone that has similar experiences with this issue and, like, having the same emotions towards the future and, like, changing is definitely a really good person to talk to. And it kind of makes you feel more reassured because you know that you're not the only person going through that.
Yeah, and I know some people just like are very introverted and don't like to talk, but it could even help just like writing things down in a journal, meditating, just like.
And it allows you to become like more aware of your thoughts and like what you're thinking and fearing, because then you can kind of try to overcome those fears.
Definitely. And I think that can help a lot with college decision, grades in school, expectations, all of that stuff.
Yeah, and back to like avoiding negative thoughts, writing things down really allows you to be aware of what makes you negative.
What's up, guys? It's Polly. Thank you all for listening.
All right. Thank you, Polly. And as he said, this does conclude today's episode of the podcast.
It does, Kate, and we really hope you guys enjoyed talking about relevant aspects of a teenager's life, and we hope that you take our advice into the upcoming future as you grow. Thanks for listening.
And see you guys next time.